What's next?
We're going to add some sugar right to the water, Steve.
Okay. And sugar dissolves very quickly in cold water. You're not using any special sugar. It's not bartender's sugar. It's not powdered sugar. It's just plain old sugar. And there's no difference in sugar by price. Sugar is sugar. So whether you buy Domino sugar or the local supermarket, this is called Great Value. That came from a local supermarket. There's no difference between this Domino sugar. Hello. The Domino sugar and this plain sugar. So you buy the lowest price sugar that you can find. Often sugar is used as what they call a loss leader. It's a loss leader is something the supermarket's doing to get you into the store. They want you to buy, the fruits and the frozen foods. The money's in the frozen foods, and so they put sugar on sale. A 5-pound bag for $1.50. Well, they expect you to come in, buy a 5-pound bag, and then all your other groceries. I walk in and I buy 200 5-pound bags, getting the best price I can. They hate to see me come. They go, oh, here goes this Italian ice guy again. But just plain old sugar, the cheapest you can get it. Sometimes it's the supermarket. Sometimes it's a wholesaler selling a 100-pound bag. A customer of mine just called the other day, the cannoli king of Italian ices in upstate New York, and he just got a fantastic deal on sugar, buying whole pallets of it. Just an amazing price, because nobody's buying sugar at this time of year. And he knows it doesn't go bad, so he's stocking up for the summertime. So your main ingredients, your two main ingredients are water and sugar. Couldn't get any cheaper.
Safety precaution, in case I forget to close the barrel door. Okay. We'll add the water with the sugar.
And once we get this going, I'm going to tell you about the 3 levels of Italian ice, because you'll use all 3.
Okay, we're going to make a strawberry lemonade Italian ice. Water ice, sorbet, Danish ice, Greek ice. They're all the same. They're all non-dairy frozen desserts. So if someone says, I've seen this actually happen in an ice cream store in New York. A fellow was making red raspberry sorbet. And he had red raspberry water ice. The water ice was selling at $2 a cup. The sorbet was selling at $4.50 a cup. It's the exact same product. But the name sorbet designates a higher quality product. They're all the same. They're all non-dairy frozen desserts. So whether it's Italian ice, slush in New England, it's called slush. Danish ice, sorbet, all the same product. Okay.
And here's actually what it looks like. This is Italian ice. This is a 3.5-ounce squeeze cup. The preferred way to eat it. And by the way, if you ask someone, a paper supplier, for squeeze cups, they'll look at you like a deer in the headlights unless they're from New York. It's a pleated water cup. It's got little pleats in it like a lady's dress, or you get it at a water fountain. And we put it in here. You'll see us do it. And then we eat it from the bottom up. And that's how we do it. So that's Italian ice. Here's frozen lemonade. This is what we sell at Universal Studios, Disney, SeaWorld. Up in New England, they call the same product slush. It's the same as this, except we put it into a tall 16-ounce cup, and we pull it out of the machine a little softer. And then what Rod's talking about, here's Le Panettiere restaurant selling strawberry sorbet for $4.50, and the only difference is they're putting it in this nice glass. That's the only difference in the product. People say, oh, well, I thought sorbet had dairy. No, not unless you want to put it in. So please, go ahead. Continue.
Sure. So this is strawberry lemonade water ice base. There's strawberry juice concentrate in here, lemon juice concentrate, and some natural and artificial flavors. So we're going to put in about a half a gallon. Now, not unlike Steve, I'm not good about following rules, so here we go. I'm just not going to measure it.
Ken, can we get a picture of Sadie here? This is one of her favorite products. And so she wants to make sure she's first in line. Always.
Keeping a close eye on you guys.
Keeping a close eye on the product.
All righty. Now we're going to add some stabilizer to this. This product is called Stabilize. It's a product made by iRice Company. It's a concentrated liquid stabilization system. The ingredients: corn syrup, glycerin, locust bean gum, guar gum, cellulose gum, citric acid, and some preservatives. Okay, I believe that you should add a stabilization system to ice, especially if you're going to store it in a cabinet. I know Jeff doesn't like that. It's okay.
But he's
and
off
Steve's a purist also. So if you're gonna make ice and you're gonna serve it right away, you don't need the stabilization. But if you're gonna put it in an ice cream cabinet or you're gonna put it in a cart out in front of the store, you're gonna get water separation. If you add the stabilization, you won't get the separation over a period of time. Okay.
One of my favorite areas for people to sell product besides a push cart is a great business to get going. But if you can get involved with, say, the Little League or any of the other organizations in town, and there you tend to get a rush of people, 200 or 300 people at a time. So you have to have a fair amount of product backed up. People like Universal Studios are making product all week long to serve the people who come to the park, but they know that they get a bigger rush on certain days. And so they have to store the product for a longer period of time. By stabilizing the product, you are able to keep it longer. I like to make product on demand, as fresh as I need, but then again, I'm just standing around waiting for people to come to the door and the weather to be good, so I can afford to do that. As your business grows, you're not going to always have that luxury. You're going to need a warehouse or a walk-in freezer filled with product that you made 2 or 3 weeks ago. Are we ready to start it up?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so we're going to start up the Infinite Overrun. We were running at 170 RPMs. We're going to take it up to full speed because air is really not a factor in sugar water. Water is going to expand 17%. If you take this liquid and put it into ice cube trays, it will expand by 17%, no more. So we run at full speed. The faster you spin it, the faster it freezes, and this product with the high sugar content takes a little longer. Now there's 3 levels of Italian ice, and I use all 3, and I think you'll use all 3 in your business. There is using fresh fruit. Oh, I've got fresh fruit. Hold on a second, I'll be right back.
You have fresh fruit, Steve?
I do. Be right back.
Jeff, do we have citric acid in here? What? Citric acid? Do we have citric acid here? I'll ask the expert when he comes back.
I like to use some fresh fruit in the product. Sadie, get down. Sadie.
Steve, do you have any citric acid? Citric acid solution?
I don't have any. No. Bad girl. That's it. You're thrown out.
Okay, so the formula that I used here.
Speak up.
The question is, what's the ratio of Stabilize? So I'll give you the whole recipe that I use right here. This is 2 gallons and 2 quarts of water, a half a gallon of water ice base, 2 pounds of sugar, 8 fluid ounces of Stabilize. Yes, 2 gallons and 1 quart of water, a half a gallon of water ice base, 2 pounds of sugar mixed into the water, pre-mixed into the water, 8 fluid ounces of Stabilize. Now normally I would add citric acid to any fruited ice because it draws out the flavor more, gives you that nice tartness. We don't have any. We'll survive today.
How much? How much would you normally add? How much would you normally add on the citric?
For a tart fruit like a strawberry or a lemon or an orange, to this size batch, about 2 fluid ounces. Of citric acid solution. Question?
How many RPMs was the question? Full speed, 234. I wanted to talk to you about the 3 levels of Italian ice while this is running. You will use all 3. There's no question about it in your business. It's inevitable. This is where Jeff and I draw the line because Jeff says, oh, I'm only going to use fresh fruit. It's not always practical. Fresh fruit is a great way to make an Italian ice, sugar, water, and flavor. And you're going to use the product within 3 days. This method, the strawberry, if any of you have bought strawberries in the supermarket, it's really hard to find good strawberries. They vary all over the place. This time of year, they're coming up from Argentina, and they have no flavor whatsoever. You cannot afford to have inconsistency in your product. When you go to a McDonald's and buy a hamburger, I think it's a lousy hamburger. But it's the same lousy hamburger in Tampa as it is in San Diego, as it is in Moscow, as it is in Bangkok. Wherever you go, the McDonald's hamburger is the same. And if you come up to Cape Cod once a year and you want to have a strawberry ice, you want it just the way you remember it. So you need consistency. So I get consistency by using the iRice bases because they're controlling that. And then I add to the product with some fresh fruit. Now, I have fresh frozen strawberries. They were picked and frozen immediately, and I like them because they too are consistent. So again, right into the machine.
Because we can do that with an Emery Thompson machine. How am I doing, Steve?
You're doing fine.
Thank you.
And that's going to give it a lot of extra additional flavor, plus the taste of the fruit. Now, while I'm adding that, and also flavors like, can you grab a mango? Mango ice, it's very hard to find mangoes in the supermarket, and it's even harder to figure out if they're ripe. Mango has become a really popular flavor. When I first brought mango home to my kids and put it in the freezer, I swear they would have eaten the green beans frozen before they would try mango. Now, when you say it's one of the most popular flavors?
Mango sells 10 to 1 over any other flavor from iRice. And
this is the easiest way to do mango, and it's a fantastic product. Now, that's fresh, that's using the iRice, and then you get down to the big question of, and someone says, well, I'm not going any lower than that. I go, oh yeah, what about kids? What about bubble gum? We don't have any bubblegum trees growing anywhere here in Florida or anywhere else in the world that I'm aware of. So you can buy, that's an iRice bubblegum flavor. And this sugar and water is going to give you bubblegum. Maybe you're a purist and you're never going to eat bubblegum Italian ice. But are you going to turn away a whole family, 4 children and 2 adults, because you don't want to give them bubblegum? I don't think that makes good business sense. You have to pick the business you're in and stick to it. We're in the frozen dessert business. We don't sell cigarettes. We don't sell Honda cars. We sell frozen desserts. But if we limited ourselves like a gelateria and only sell tiramisu and tell the mint chip people to go away, or the Italian nice bubblegum people to go away, we're not going to have enough customers to stay in business. So using an extract is often the only way you're going to get the flavor until they start growing bubblegum trees. So you have to look at the concept of you're in business, and you have to have something for everyone, if that's the way your market is set up. You're going to get a kick out of hearing about Jeff's business because it's extremely unique in the industry. He's only open from 6 until 10 at night, and he doesn't want children in the store. And it doesn't mean he's an old ogre and doesn't want children. Well, he may be, but he's not turning away children. It's just he's making adult flavors for adults. And that's his target market, and that's perfect. He's not trying to sell cotton candy at 1 in the afternoon to the kids that walk by. It's not his market. He's selling to a group of people because he's right on the edge of the largest retirement community in the United States of America. So he knows his market. And that's wouldn't you agree that's a key to the business, is knowing who your market is? You
have to know your demographics. You have to be aware of who your competition is in the market, what the traffic flow is. You have to know what's going on in that specific market, no question.
And I don't agree with everybody about everything. That's what makes it a horse race. Up where Rod is from in Boston, the typical ice cream parlor sells hot dogs and hamburgers. Oh my gosh, what are you, crazy? You're mixing greasy food with ice cream? But they've been doing it that way since the Revolutionary War. That's what they expect.
Right about the time I was born.
Exactly. That's what they expect out of an ice cream parlor, that we can go there and also get a hot dog. You would never, in my world, you would never do that. But in the New England market, that's the way they do it. So you have to look at your market and say, what will sell right here? If I tried to sell Brooksville, where my factory is, sell Brooksville, here we go. If I tried to sell $7 sorbet in the town where I live. I would sell maybe one to my wife Paula, and that would be about it. The market won't bear spending $7 for a sorbet, but they'll sure spend $1.50 for the same product that's right here.
So let me give you an idea of the cost of this batch of water ice, Italian ice, Swedish ice, Danish ice sorbet. Okay, I'm going to give it to you without the strawberries because I didn't realize Steve was putting that in there.
I stole them.
So they're free.
Paula distracted.
Free. If you can pick your own strawberries, there's no cost. So I assigned a cost to water because there is a cost to it. Whether it's you're buying your own spring water or you're using tap water, there is a cost to that. So I just used a cost of 20 cents a gallon. So for the 2 gallons and a quart, we have 45 cents. For the half gallon of water ice base, it's about $9. 2 pounds of sugar, I have it at 55 cents. That's a rough estimate. So you have $1.10. The 8 fluid ounces of Stabilization is about 7.5 cents a pound. So that's 61 cents for 8 fluid ounces. And the citric acid, which we didn't add, is about 20 cents. So you got a cost for this entire batch of $11.34, which breaks down to about $3.75 a gallon. It's very inexpensive to produce. Yes, in the back.
Labor.
Way back there.
Labor. Are you doing it yourself? Or are you actually paying someone to do it? Where's the labor built into that?
The question is,
I just assigned raw material costs to this. So your labor costs have to be included. Absolutely. Labor costs, the cost of your cup, spoon, napkin, the cleaning, although you have Sadie, so you don't need cleaning.
That's right.
Yep. All that you have to add into the cost. Yes.
But if you buy it wholesale from a customer a wholesaler up in New Jersey, say Little Jimmy's, you're looking at $26, $28 for a lesser quality product using my machines it's made on. But it's made up in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And then you have to ship sugar water. This stuff is heavy. And you have to freeze it, you have to ship it down here, so you're looking at $100 in shipping. They have a minimum order because it doesn't pay them to ship 1 container. And then the minimum order is so big, you have to have a walk-in freezer. So your costs are through the roof. They're going to be somewhere around $35 per 3-gallon tub, as opposed to our $3.80 for a tub. There just is no comparison whatsoever. Everybody has a right to make a profit. Anytime you buy anything, that's why for 109 years we only sell direct, because middlemen don't know enough about our machines, and why add 33% cost putting it through a middleman? Again, they have a right to make money, otherwise they wouldn't be in business. But when you buy from a wholesale business, they have a right to make money. So let's say they mark it up 33. They actually mark it up more like 400%, from $3 up to $28. But your biggest cost in Italian ice, buying it from someone, is the shipping cost. This stuff is sugar and water, and as soon as you leave it out on the floor, it's starting to melt. So even if you're going to buy it from 20 miles away, are you going to get a refrigerated truck? It doesn't make sense. You can pay for a machine in less than 1 season by making your own product. Plus, when you buy from a wholesaler, it's, no, I'm sorry, we're out of bubble gum today, but we'll send you more strawberry. But I already have 30 tubs of strawberry. Well, I'm sorry, that's all we got is strawberry. So you're at the mercy of the person that's selling it to you. Now, that said, if I was in a town and I wanted to start up an Italian ice business, and there were other people who said, this is a great idea, gee, I'd go into the wholesale Italian ice business immediately. And I'd say, okay, you're in Rye, New York, and you're down in Pelham or Larchmont. Yeah, I'll sell you Italian ice because they're the next town over. My customers are not going to drive 10 miles to get an Italian ice. So now I'm controlling the market because I'm making the wholesale ice. I'm selling it in a controllable neighborhood, radius-wise. And so I've got a retail business and a wholesale business selling sugar water. It's that simple. Because your ingredients are so low compared to ice cream or any other food product you can think of.
Now, one of the great things about making your own product is you're only limited by your own imagination. You can create whatever flavor profile you want. So Whatever you can come up with, you're not limited by whatever the dairy wants to sell you.
Well, you just opened up a Pandora's box.
Did I?
I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. Not a Sharknado.
Yes, a Sharknado. Now, you're the one who brought it up, not
There
me.
may be a limit to what you can
I had not
do.
planned to bring the shark out. But looking at trends, there was a B-movie that was out this summer called Sharknado, in which a tornado formed off of Los Angeles, which is impossible, and all the sharks got sucked up and they got brought inland. The sharks were dropping in people's swimming pools. They were dropping on the highways. It was just a mess. And so I saw it as a marketing opportunity, and I said, let's make a new product. We'll call it Shark Teeth Italian Ice. So we made Rod's Cherry Italian Ice, added candy corn, little pointed things, little candy corn for the teeth, and we called it Shark's Tooth Italian Ice. So that formula is out there. I know it's going to be, it's award-seeking. It's going to be fantastic. And so this summer, when you see Sharknado or Shark Tooth Italian Ice, you'll know that it started right here with my friend. Paul, do you want to take the shark back to our pool? So you can have fun with Italian Ice, and as Rod is saying, you can instantly make changes. You can just say, oh, here's a good idea for a flavor.
Exactly.
Sugar and water.
So if you start out with the flavor profile that is recommended by the industry or the flavor manufacturer, you have the right to change it to make it any way you want. That's the pleasure of making your own product, whether it's ice cream, gelato, sorbet, whatever.
Oh, one interesting thing, Rod, is the differences up and down the East Coast of Italian ices. In New York, if I was using a bigger machine than this, my formula would call for 7 pounds of sugar. If I go down to Philadelphia, the same formula becomes 8 pounds of sugar. Why? Because in Philadelphia, they like their Italian ice sweeter. So the more sugar, they like it smoother. I didn't mean sweeter, I meant smoother. 1 pound is not going to really make it sweeter, but 1 pound will make it a smoother ice. So in New York City, Manhattan, it's 7 pounds of sugar. In Philadelphia, it's 8 pounds of sugar. In Brooklyn on Bay 8th Street, it's which is all Italian neighborhood, it's 6 pounds of sugar, because they like their product, what we call an Italian product, we call it granita or granite. Granita is just Italian ice, but it's only 6 pounds of sugar, so it's coarse and crunchy.
Correct.
You could never sell in Philadelphia. So when people say, oh, I want a coarse ice like I remember growing up in Brooklyn, and we check them for guns, or I want it nice and smooth like in Philadelphia, we can give them the product they want just by altering the sugar content. That's all it is. It's real simple. And these people will tell you, oh, it's secret, you can't do it. I used to tell people my recipes came from my great-grandfather who came over from Genoa, Italy on a boat. Well, I've never been to Genoa, Italy. I'm not Italian. I don't have a great-grandfather. It's strictly mathematics and physics. More sugar, smoother product. Less sugar, coarser product. You had a question.
Rita's ice. How do they fall into the ballpark?
How do they what?
How do they fall into the ballpark of ices? Ice. I mean, that's where everybody, they go to ice, that's like Rita's ice.
The question is about Rita's Ice. My family put Rita's Ice into business about 40 years ago when it was the family. Now it's a corporate entity. Back then, I thought the ice was better than what it is today. However, it has gotten the word out there as far as what ice is. The original Rita's would keep ice for only 24 hours. And then they would scrap it all and make fresh. That's when the family was running it. Today, it's not so much. So I think it's more along the lines of a commercial ice. I don't love it. It's made me a lot of money selling machinery, but it's not my favorite ice. And I'm sure before the end of the day, there'll be a Blacktown car out there ready to haul me away in the trunk.
I guess my question is it, I mean, they're consistent whether they're in New York, Philadelphia, or down south. They make the same ice, right?
Yeah. Oh, good question. Is Rita's, since they're semi-national, are they making the same ice everywhere? Yes, they are. And they're making a Philadelphia-style ice. It would be the 8 pounds of sugar.
I think this is ready to come out.
Okay. Rod says it's ready. Turn off the refrigeration. Can you stand to the side so you can see this?
Is there a lock on this?
No, just yank it. It's just iced up. There you go. Look at that. Pour it out fast.
That is ready.
All the way. Look how quick that comes out because of those large openings. And it's got all the pieces in there. It's beautiful. Now, let me just show you something real quick. Let's make it a sorbetto. Now it's a fruited a strawberry sorbetto. Isn't that great? All I did was change containers. There is no difference. I had this discussion with the chairman of the board, my counterpart, with Capajani. And I said, you got to take down your advertising. You're saying you invented the batch freezer, and we patented it in 1905, and your guy didn't copy our exact design until 1919. He goes, oh, well, it's different. We're making gelato. I said, you mean milk, cream, sugar, and skim milk? Oh, but we do it differently. I'm still waiting. They did take it down. They didn't say they invented it, because we did. And that's, see, there's nothing left in there. It all came out so fast. So, we're going to have you try it. Do you want to try it? And we'll try it in squeeze cups. You just squeeze it up from the bottom.
As opposed to squeezing it up from the top.
I won't give you a huge amount because I don't want to spoil your lunch.